Hey everyone, welcome back to the Phantom's Den. Sorry, I know it's been a while since I've uploaded any new videos for reactions. This last month has been pretty hectic for me. As you all know, I'm a professional performer, and June is the month that apparently a lot of theaters decided to start making their comebacks. So I was able to have 8 auditions this month and several rounds of callbacks for several shows in the area. So I've just been really focused on getting my career back up on its feet and focusing on finding work instead of making these videos. But all that's in the past now. I'm booked, thank God. So I have a job to look forward to, which is fantastic. And now that I know that my rehearsal schedule is coming up, I'm going to be able to make more videos more consistently now that I have that out of the way. So it's great to be back, and I thought I would kick things off with another Dimash React. This time we're going to be listening to his Sinful Passion. This one is live, is from a few years ago. I watched this like 2 years ago, so I don't remember anything about it. I just remember like all his other songs. He does a lot of really cool tricks. He has amazing technical prowess, and he's gonna blow me away with some insane long notes or riffs at some point. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this, and I will give my analysis as we go. That's a beautiful stage.
Ты явилась нежданно, как из лунного сна.
Ooh.
О, если б знала ты, что мне нужна, только ты одна.
Ooh, that's a beautiful start. I really like. I mean, first of all, he always looks so dapper in his suits. I love his stage presence. I love his persona. I love just the charisma that he brings and his commitment to his performances. But I really like that he loves starting out very soft in a lot of his pieces so he can build and have places to go and also start layering in that emotion and the emotional depth within his performance. But he did a couple cool things here already. He had a nice vocal release that was kind of a slide down into a sigh, and then he had some nice vocal fry that was almost a growl to kind of glide him up into that last note. So let's just back it up a few seconds.
Как из лунного сна. О, если б знала
Boy,
ты, что мне
so cool.
нужна, только ты одна.
Mm. He has such loving fans.
Линии долгие лилии, были ночи без сна, но в стуже сердце озарила, как весна, только ты одна.
Something I want to point out too, because I know as a performer, when you're just kind of bare on a stage like that and you have nothing really but like your voice and a piano, it can be almost unnerving. And the old adage, less is more, can kind of seem almost counterintuitive, especially when you're singing soft like this. So something that I admire about him is that his movements almost always seem very deliberate, very precise. So when he is moving around with his hand motions and he is gesturing to the audience, he is literally drawing them in, and he is painting a picture not only with his words but with his gestures. And that's a really beautiful thing because it's really easy to fall into the trap, especially as some kind of a theater performer or someone who's just nervous and inexperienced. You have a lot of cliches, like you get Shakespeare hands, you get a lot of paralleled movements at the elbows. Like there are a lot of pitfalls that you can fall into that, I and many of my colleagues still fall into, through over the years of our performing. So I just wanted to point that out, that I really admire his ability to have not only the control over his voice, but very deliberate control over his body.
Дай мне, дай мне долгим огнем пылать во мгле и в ненастье. Дай мне ночью и днем сгорать в костре грешной страсти.
Nice. nice. I really like that he goes with the music, and I'll just point out quickly that he was opening up more and allowing for more space in the back, that lift in the soft palate to allow that more robust operatic baritone sound to come out. Like you could tell the color of his voice changed a lot because he elongated his vowels, he allowed for more space, and he pushed more air through to give it a louder and more, like I said, robust sound, which is really nice. Like it's just he's already teasing at hints that he's going to build upon this and start leaning more into that direction. And obviously this is like a 7-minute song, so he's going to get to a very powerful place towards the end.
Ночь сомкнула ресницы, и вокруг тишина.
Love how bright and soft that is.
Забыты звуки, руки, лица. Не нужна только ты одна.
That might be an odd place to stop here. Oh, okay, they do have subtitles, so I wish I would have. So I probably should have put that on at the beginning, but you know it's all right. We'll just keep going where we are now. But he paints a picture with his words. He's very intimate and he's very connected with his audience, and I love that about him.
Околдован тобою.
Here we go.
Выпью зелье до дна.
Starting to attack those notes a little more.
И ты вернешь меня из бездны в этот мир. Только ты одна.
Ooh, just real quick, just indulge me. Just that cry, like that little stuff like that alone, beautiful.
И ты вернешь меня из бездны в этот мир. Только ты одна.
Like, oh, just so good. It just pings.
Долгим огнем пылать в огне и ненастье.
Beautiful.
Дай мне,
Ooh, there we go.
ночью и днем сгорать в костре грешной страсти.
Okay, before we get into this next section, I really liked the progression of that entire verse. I love that he started out, it was very light and pingy up in that tenor register. It just floated. It just sounded so effortless for him. It pinged like you were hitting a triangle. And then he dropped back down and he built into that power. And you could see when he got up a little higher, he spread just a little bit because he wasn't going to be able to make the sound that high up that he was going to want. So instead of having that rounded, covered sound, he allowed his mouth to widen and he let the sound come to the front of his mask a little bit just so he could allow that resonance to be able to be in a more poppy place and he can get the spread that he would want with that sound. Like here, just come back real quick and we can point that out. And now we come to Contra Tenor Land. I like to call it Manfrano, but to each their own. Oh, and that little whip at the end. First of all, just you looked at his physicality, the power poses. Like he was just drawing energy from the ground. He was planted firm. My gosh, that was incredible. And to the untrained ear too, like obviously it's impressive what he's doing. It might not seem like it is that high on first listen, but it is for a man that is incredibly high. Like you would think, you're like, oh, if I were to sing in my falsetto, I could probably get that high. Most men can't. Most can't. Like he literally, that note at the end, I'm pretty sure that was like an E flat or a E flat 6, I want to say, based on listening to that, because that sounds pretty similar to a lot of his money notes, and that's where he likes to really hang out when he's in that contratenor land. And yeah, like that's like that could be even be high for a lot of like definitely altos and even some sopranos. Like that is a high note. That's even a high note for women. So the fact that he can do that with such I mean, it's not easy, but for him, how much training he's put in, it's easy. So like that's just Bravo, like that whole section, it epitomizes the amount of time and effort he has put into really understanding and training not only his voice but his entire body to work in tandem so he can pull something like that off and make it seem effortless. The people that are masters at what they do make anything seem easy, and it's like it makes people like us be like, oh, I could do that. Then you try it and you're like, oh shit, I can't do that. Wow. We'll come back to that. Holy shit. Oh my god. All right, sorry about that pop up, but oh my god. Just first of all, that bit that he did in the transition out of his contratenor land, riffing and stuff, into God, I don't know what would you call that. I guess you could say that's world folk singing. I guess. I know that he is born from, I believe, Kazakhstan. A lot of you throw in the comments this like book of just information about like me wanting to understand everything about this guy. I'll be honest, I haven't read any of that stuff. It's so much to get through, and I know enough about this guy what I need to know. But essentially, I believe that he has had some kind of formal training in some style of folk or world singing, you could say, and so that was him just kind of vocally flexing those abilities, like that unbelievably back and forth, like rubber band almost vibrato that he had in there, the like but like insanely fast, and like it almost sounded like it was staccato because it was broken up. It wasn't a legato line of vibrato. It broke up and jumped back and forth. It was like doing like side jumps or something. It was insane. So that was really cool. And then that build was just really, really great. Nice and open, very strong and supported mix belt. And I'm pretty sure he did that entire thing. That was easily about 20 seconds. He did that entire thing in one breath. And like, just, oh my God, that was insane. Let's just go back and listen to that run really quick because that was ridiculous. Let's see, where does it start? Okay, here we go. Indulge me. I can't do it. It's too high. Oh, God, it's disgusting. I wonder if those backing vocals was some kind of a distorted recording of him or if he actually had backup singers. I didn't see any on stage. Also, it's just kind of funny. I think this band's so used to working with him, they're just kind of like desensitized to like, the majesty of his voice. But they all just seem so just kind of like, chill, blasé, almost uninterested in what he just did. I find that kind of funny. So dramatic. Is that it? Okay, yeah, and they shower him with roses and flowers and adorn him. Oh, it's just insane. My God, what just he's such a freak of nature. Just every single time I watch him, it astounds me. Like I feel like there's literally nothing he can't do vocally if you just give him a little bit of time to just kind of play with something and like make an arrangement with, I believe, his vocal coach and mentor and his piano player. I think his name, it's Igor, I think. Yeah, like they compose and write music together, and he mostly writes songs for Dimash. And yeah, it's just if you put them together and give them any sheet of music, they'll be able to make it work somehow. Like it's that crazy. I couldn't imagine having that level of technical prowess and vocal freedom to just do whatever you want. It's like it's what we all aspire to and want to be. I think that's why so many people flock to this performer because of, you know, a lot of people identify with his background or they're just enticed by his performances. But regardless, like you flock to him because you admire him and you aspire to be like him, even though there's no one like him, because he's just such a vocal freak of nature. Like it's a one in a billion getting a voice like that, you know, being able to have that insane kind of range. And like, and he wasn't just born with it. Like, yeah, he had the innate ability, but like with anybody else, like if you want to reach your full potential, you have to work your ass off for years upon years of extreme dedication to be able to get anywhere close to what he can do consistently. And that's why so many people admire him and look up to him in his career, especially for being at such a young age, because I think we're about the same age. He's like in what is I'm about to turn 24. I think he's in his mid 20s as well, maybe late 20s at this point. I don't know, but like he's a young kid still technically. His voice hasn't even fully matured yet, so I'm excited to kind of see as the years progress and he keeps coming out with music, what else he might be able to do, especially with his lower register too when he gets older. Like around like a male's voice usually stops maturing around the age of 34. So I'm curious to see how much more he'll be able to play with his baritone, almost bass registers going forward with his music. But I really love this song. It was a lot of fun to listen to again. It's always fun reacting to this guy. I love watching him. Thank you guys so much. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Link down in the description below for the original. Let me know what else of his you'd like me to check out. I know there have been some suggestions on past videos. I need to comb through the comments I haven't checked out in a few weeks and figure out what you guys want to see. And I'll just keep posting more of him and more of other acapella groups and other artists that I see fit to do. But thanks, guys, for stopping by. This was a lot of fun. I hope you had a good time, and I hope you have a great day. I'll see you soon.